from a societal perspective, this is the pushback on the trans ideology. And now I'm going to sound like the oldest, whitest guy ever, but
The oldest, whitest guy here.
it's so true. And you're welcome. When we stopped Mr. and Mrs. and we lost something, I really believe that. I believe in cordiality. I really do. And I never really did growing up. I was embarrassed. My dad was like the last guy to hold on to it. Where like my friends would come over and they'd be like, Big G. And he'd be like, in my house, it's Mr. Harron or it's Coach G, Coach Gerard, Coach Harron.
He didn't even coach sports. He just won't.
No, I'm not even going to let that one go. He was one of the best coaches you could ever imagine. People still ask about him. He was the best. He's not dead. He still is the best. But he was like the last guy holding on, and where it was like, did you invite me to your house? This is my house. You're in my house eating my food. It's Mr. Harron. Like, and I'd be like, Dad, what are you doing? He goes, no, f that guy. He's got to learn. Respect.
I don't know. I don't like it. Maybe it's just my resistance to authority, but I'm like, who are you for me to call you that? And I will if there's like an established relationship and it's truly your preference, then I have no problem. But to just automatically make that assumption. And with the schools, it's the same thing. So we obviously go to a Montessori school, and a lot of these new alt schools, there's none of that. It's first name basis, because it's teaching the kid that just because there's a gap in the age doesn't necessarily mean that you need to blindly respect or follow or trust that person, that adults can be idiots too.
Do your kids call you Candace?
Sometimes he does. It's a joke.
I mean, but that's so like my buddy, like his kids call him by his first name and his wife by his first name. I'm like, man, I don't
it's
know.
only as a
like
joke. It's only he does it because he gets like a funny reaction out of me, but
so
not in seriousness.
Let me tell you my perspective, and then I'd love for your rebuttal on it. All right, I think it's the best way to start a relationship with a stranger from a position of mutual respect. I come up to you and I say, "Hello, Mrs. Horback. My name is Gerard." Within that moment, I have shown humility. I have deferred to you, shown respect to you, and you have now in that split second go, "Oh, don't call me Miss Horback. I'm Candace." And within 2 sentences, I've shown humility and respect. You've shown respect and grace. And now from the rest of our conversation from that day, we are coming from a place of respect, humility, and grace, right? Whereas take it the other way, and it's like, "Hey, Gerard, hey, just before we start, my pronouns are he, him."
I agree.
All right? And it's like, whoa. You're coming at me all wrong, guy. Your pronouns are now, go f yourself. I don't care what they are. I will never call you those, ever, because you told me. So from that perspective, within 2 sentences, in a world of constant chaos, in a world of constant agitation, right, especially online and everything like that, if you show one instance of respect and then that respect is then reciprocated, we're good, man. We're good. You know, it could just be a nod. It could be a this and that. And again, I understand it's old school and I get it, but I think chivalry existed. The rules of chivalry existed for a reason, because we want to get after each other. And it's like, you're going to leave your weapon on your right side, right? Like the rules of chivalry, we think of chivalry as just like opening up a door for a woman. Read the rules of chivalry. There's like all these rules. Like if you come into the castle, your weapon's on your right side. You present your right hand to show that you're not, you bow before the lady of the house. And you like had to know all these rules because we barely knew each other's languages. We come from these different tribes. We've been warring, and everybody's like, we're going to have dinner together. Everything's going to be cool. And I don't want a 30-year war. Okay. Like let's everybody just be chill. So now that was distilled down over 400 years to just, Mr. Gall, hey, thank you very much for coming today, man. Happy to have you here. Call me Mickey, bro. And within those 2 things, or you're like, you know, or you want to show your status and be like, you're welcome. Let's get to work. And it's like, oh, okay, he's Mr. Gall, and now me and you can around, and now me and you are on a level of respect, and you know, because it's like, oh, who's this guy think he is? I don't know. It's my personal opinion. I think we really lost something when we lost that. I think we lost something as a society when we lost that.
Do you have a rebuttal to that?
I mean, I see your point. I don't think that it's invalid in any way, but I do think that when you do address someone by a first name basis, it's showing camaraderie. It's kind of the same thing, but it's just a different perspective. Like we are on the same level. There is no hierarchy. I think it's like that. It's forming intimacy quickly because it's not putting that barrier of like Mr. or Mrs. or Sir or whatever. It's no, we're friendly. Mm-hmm. It's establishing like we're friendly.
With that being said, if you are going to address first name, there's a way you can do it in like a friendly, like, hey, how are you know what I mean? Like you
Sure.
It can be
Sure.
you know, it could be nuanced.
It doesn't have to be arrogant.
Well,
Yeah.
it's feminism that killed it, right? So I mean, what really killed the whole Mr. and Mrs. thing was Ms. and Mrs. And this idea of like shaming somebody, where it's like, oh, Mrs. Hormatch, how are you? Well, it's actually Ms. And it's like, oh, you're 30, you're not married, like. So now it became a thing of like, you know, hey, what do you do for? Oh, you're a janitor. Like it became a thing where now you're being looked down on, you're feeling judged, and they're like, oh, just get rid of it. You know, they should have never done that to begin with, right? But I guess the idea behind that, like all things, is like, you know, if it's Mrs., you know, hey, keep your hands to yourself and your eyes on the ceiling, buddy. You know, the lady's spoken for, friend. But if it's Ms., it's like, hey, you know, you want to go get a popcorn social after this?